NS 홈쇼핑 앱을 열면 신선하게, 쉽게, 빠르게 앱 할수록 건강해집니다. NS 모바일.
You cannot see me smiling. In fact, I'm smiling. Because of the pandemic that we cannot meet. Because of the pandemic that we cannot sharing a drink or go party together. But I'm here to talk about my experience of the things that I like to do, and that I have been doing that for ages, years. What I enjoy the most is every single time, as much as I can, it is better to do a good job every single time. I believe in advertising is kind of like you are a happy bartender. What do the bartender do? They mix things. And what do we mix? We mix our objectiveness with our subjectiveness. You would say, what are the clients buying from us? I think at the end of the day is our subjective ideas of being creative. But before we arrive in being subjectively powerful enough, we have to be objectively digesting all the needs, the wants, the psychographic, the demographic, the background of the product, the branding and everything, or even the money that they are going to spend on the media, on the production, and everything. So this is what makes our job, our career, our profession funny. Finally, got the chance to introduce myself. This is me. My name is Willde Ng, and in Chinese, 普通话 is 吴文芳，广东话係文芳。Judging on my hair, everybody knows that I'm old. Of course I'm old, because I quit advertising agency in 1992 when I was 42 already. But 2 weeks ago, I got a chance to read these articles from Forbes magazine. It was an interview with Willde Ng interviewing somebody. Got me really curious about this particular word. The gentleman is Mr. Mark Reed. He is currently the CEO of WPP. He made this comment. Look at our people. The average age of someone who works at WPP is less than 30. They don't hark back to the 1980s, luckily. I just want to find out what's wrong with 1980. I finished the article, and it's called Revenge of Analog. I totally believe that we are still human beings. We are not machine-made. So our taste bud got to be still analog. Our tears got to be still analog. My smile, my love to the loved ones that I love must be still analog. For that, I started to raise this question. If the young people do, like yourself now, get into their advertising career when they are 22 or 23 after their colleges, and if they need to be getting ready to be retired at the age of 30, what would they actually learn in these 8 or 9 years? It happened to me that I have 2 daughters fit into this bucket of ageism, and I want to find out on their behalf what should they do the day they turn 30. In last century, It belongs to us. I met Martin Sorrell, the ex-boss of WPP, in our office. My boss then, Grace Atkinson, asked me after the lunch, "Oh, what is your first impression of Martin?" Instant comment right after the lunch. He is not sincere about advertising. Luckily, before our industry became a P&L investment unit, I was trained in having fun and being multidisciplinary. What is multidisciplinary? In fact, it's just like what I say here, like a Kung Fu Panda. You're good at everything. You are very, very good at using your body and your mind and your soul, your eyes to see things that you've never seen before, or other people cannot see, to hear things that interest you, right? To smell the smell that you cannot forget, to taste the food that you want to go back and taste again, and to use your hand to type, to draw, to edit, to paint, all these artistic or creative things. But most importantly, your mind to be able to go through objectiveness to become subjectively great in being creative. This is the panda theory. Everything started with this tiny little book. It was a book by James White Young. He was the planner with J. Walter Thompson for many years. He did not just treat advertising as a job. He treated his advertising as his personal challenge of understanding the consumer's behavior, the agency's behavior, the client's need and want and weakness and strength, all in this book. Very, very simple. As I can remember, it's only had 48 pages, and the last page is half empty. But here, you will learn a lot about how to handle your insecurity of what if I cannot come up with a good idea? Because here it says, a good idea is an original idea, and the original idea is just a combination of old elements put together in different sort of order. Don't you think that's easy? And that's how this book is teaching us to create original ideas by the combination of the things put in different orders. Go and get this book. At that time, J. Walter Thompson, we also used his name to form a workshop called Young Tigers Workshop. James White Young Tigers. The first thing that we were asked to behave is to be hungry. Hungry means you have to have the capacity to be nosy, to be asking questions, to be nervous about you are not going to be catch up with the new knowledges, the new wisdoms and everything. And this is hungry, a hunger. After a while, after all this training, first thing that you are going to notice about your personalities is you become academic. You're academic about things, about theories, and you don't want to think just, okay, wishy-washy. Just say, this is only a job, 9 to 5. You started to become like a scholar. Hey, although this is only a piece of advertising to sell a bar of Lux soap, Or is this just a print ad for Maggie sauce? But in fact, you can still be going into the academic side of thinking to develop your skill of seeing the difference, to create that combination of different orders. We also want to be young tiger, to be hungry all the time. We also study other people's way of thinking advertising. People like Leo Burnett, David Ogilvy, and William Bernberg. How do they do things that is so into creating insight, into people's psychological warmth or like or love, instead of just sending the messages or information. Right? They all have their books and very, very profound writings about advertising. Also happens in last century. I became Easy Days in J. Willde Thompson, Hong Kong. Hey, working for Martin. It was 1989. I decided the day before I took my position, I want to do a good job. First of all, for the person gave me the opportunity, which is Grace Atkinson, my boss then, and of course, she also have a boss in London called Martin, and we want to do a good work for Martin. And most importantly, is for myself. To be able to do that, I went out to buy this notebook. It still stays with me after all these years. I wrote the first page in August 1990. I list down all the things that I need to do to guarantee that I can do a good job. Okay? The restructure of the creative department, the trainings that I'm going to give, right? And the planning and budgeting, what kind of money that I should get from the big boss to give people a raise, or how much money I can stop spending and all this. Then I drew down this planning cycle. This is what a J. Willde Thompson tour, right? It asks 5 questions. Where are you? Why are you there? Where can you be in 6 months or 7 months or a year, and how to get there? Okay, and then after 6 months, 7 months, you ask, am I there? Are we there? If it is yes, then you are creating a new where are we? Okay? It just go on and on and on, running in circles like this. This chart helped me to create this personal, my own planning cycle. Then I did this for the department. We are pretty hot at the time when I took over the department. But why are we there? We still have a bit of green somewhere. So my job is to take away all the greens, but to be where I want it to be all hot and red. But I add one extra icon here, skill, quality. So we want to be, our people to keep thinking about quality and hot and quality, right? So this is how I build my department. And after 3 years, I'm pretty sure that I did an okay job. Right? And then I create every single year a new where are we, and this is progressive. So I want to get myself always ready for a bigger challenge, and this book helped me a lot. And maybe because of the book, 19 years later, I was picked to be one of the 9 people by this magazine in 2011 that it says, advertising legacy, a tribute to the men and women who have shaped Asian creativity over the last 25 years. I am very, very happy to be one of those 9 people. What can I say? Pure joy. It has taken me 40 years to know things that I was enjoying, and I'm still enjoying, and I still will be enjoying. Right? Nowadays, no one in our business can say, hey, you know nothing about social media. So this is the things that this couple of years I am learning hard to write Facebooks. I only started it about 2 weeks ago. And how to use, what's that called? YouTube, okay? And in China, of course, this is the WeChat and Weibo, okay? I'm learning it. I enjoy learning things, I guess. Then an idea came like a light bulb. And I was talking to Grace Atkinson. I call it Auntie Grace now. I said, Auntie Grace, I want to write a book. And then she just jumped in. She said, it got to be useful, right? Got to be a book of ease, right? Got to be able to help young people to develop their knowledge, their skill, and to develop their characters. Don't you think? In front of Auntie Grace, I cannot say no at all. So 9 years after the campaign, after this, I created this. It was simplified Chinese at the moment. It will be published in Taiwan with traditional Chinese and now being translated into English. And hopefully one day will be Korean and Japanese and all that. I wish. Hi, after all this talk, I have this funny idea. I think, what is the best way to demonstrate that I'm not old? I still know things about the handphone, but still love the old stuff, like a book, like the pages, like the paper. So I came up with this idea. When I launched this book, I redrew 20-something old storyboards from watching the sport one by one and redrew them. Instead of just the storyboard, I put in a QR code with the handphone. See, it goes straight into old commercials that we admire, we love so much 30, 40, 50 years ago. All right, I'm ending my presentation here, and hopefully that I have done something useful for everybody. And if not, then forgive me. Since then, goodbye.